Alright. Timestamp March 28th, 2026. It's a little bit after 10 a.m. Tiny and I worked on the garden area on the lanai for several hours yesterday. It was very hot, still congested. It's good stuff. It didn't rain, it was just 80 something degrees. We got done, I came in, we got a lot done. We're trying to make the garden more garden-like over there. We got rid of a lot of dead plants, tried to transplant a few that looked like they still had some promise. We put in some potatoes with eyes. I'll show you probably, I might show you later today. I don't know what we're doing yet. I know what I'm doing. I have a list and all that, but this is what I sound like first thing in the morning. It's not quite Harvey level, but I can do that if you want. Oh, I'm so happy. I love him. He's so fun. But yeah, it totally sapped us. We came back in. I fried up some sausages. We had some sandwiches. That's the great thing of having those on standby. It's a quick, 20-minute lunch, and it's yummy. Had some of the potato wedges that I made the night before, as like we had basically like really good hot dogs and really good French fries. A hot dog and fries. That's an American lunch right there. But it was good. It hit the spot because it wiped us out. Yeah. Tiny took a nap and I crashed. I went to bed with Talons of Wing Chiang on Dr. Roku, which, again, you got a white guy playing a Chinese guy. That's kind of what acting is, so I don't know that I have a problem with that exactly. And I'm willing to bet, being BBC, they probably didn't have Doctor Who's kind of a, we're talking the 70s. It's a little bit limited from a casting standpoint. So, because I know when we did Rent, we ran into a similar thing. I played a part that's traditionally played by a black performer. Collins is usually black. I've seen, because I watched a bunch online just to see what other places around the country were doing. And I did see one that was Latino, and I saw a really fat white guy play Collins. Like 6'3", Santa Claus at age 35 kind of. And he was actually quite good. And that was my approach too, was just playing it more the white and nerdy kind of variety. Like nerdy anarchist, like Greg Proops with an attitude. He was actually my motivation. My character model was Greg Proops with an attitude. If you know who I'm talking about. Because I'm pretty butch. But muscular men can be gay. And they can be smart. Collins was a college professor and an anarchist. But if you look at, 99 out of 100 productions, he's played by a black man. Angels frequently. Spanish or black. Mimi Marquez. Fine Irish name. But we were in Bradenton, Florida. We didn't really have a lot of ethnicity that wanted to come out. We got a cast with who comes to auditions, right? I think we did have 2 Spanish people in our cast, but no black. Xavier hadn't joined our cast yet. And I don't know. He did Rocky Horror. He might have done Rent if he had been with us at that point. And we had some people that were like, That's a really white cast for Rent. It's like, we're the ones that auditioned. And we even, because we were running into a problem, we had a couple of major roles that we were trying to fill, and we were having a hard time finding people. Some people made phone calls, friend to friend kind of thing. Our Roger was a regular at one of the other theater troupes, and a friend of a friend kind of gave him a call and was like, "You'd be amazing in this role. Can you come audition?" And he was amazing in the role. You know what I mean? But we had we needed like two ensemble, and the ensemble are everything in Rent. The lead parts are the lead parts, yeah, but the ensemble, I want to say you can do it with like 6 people. You've got to have like 6 ensemble to make it work because of all the doubling. Because you got your 7 main players. The 6 ensemble are, and some productions, have 10 or 12 or whatever, and that's cool. Must be nice. But the other 6 people are everyone else in New York. Those are the parts they play. Everyone else in New York. The cops, the winos, the parents. Everybody else in New York is played by these 6 people. And there are even some major cast members that doubled as some of these other people. Because I know our Joanne and Maureen were some of the cops. Evening, officer. That scene, if you know what I'm talking about, that was our Joanne or Maureen. I'd gotten the police helmets, the like little plastic with they have the little visor thing like riot helmets. I'd gotten them at a dollar store, and I painted them up to make them look more like actual police riot, because they're dollar plastic toys, dress-up toys for kids. But I dressed them up a little bit, made them look more like New York cop riot gear. So they put on a big police coat. Those had a billy club in each one had a billy club kind of thing, and you were our cops. And a Merry Christmas to your family. Right. So the idea of an English guy playing a Chinese character? Okay. Okay. Is it very stereotypical? It's as stereotypical as Charlie Chan and Mr. Moto played it on TV as who they are. I don't really have a problem with the episode. Yes, I'm not Chinese, but if you are Chinese and you've seen the episode, tell me what you think. It's far less disrespectful than anything Peter Sellers ever did, I can tell you that. Funny man, but it's like some of the Dr. Seuss books that got banned right there. Some of his personifications over the years. Brilliant, but you show that stuff today and you'll pitchforks and torches, and I woke up to apparently an aneurysm. What did I wake up to? We're still doing Tom Baker. Oh, I woke up to Logopolis. It was like it had the Peter Davison, the newer theme. Oh, that's right, because I woke up to Tegan complaining about wanting to speak to the pilot. No one whines like Tegan. And then Donna Noble said, "Hold my pint." It's true. Oh. Yeah, so now we're doing some Tom Baker. They show Logopolis a fair amount too. It's just I go through the catalog and I'm like, there's a bunch of episodes you guys don't show. Because you're always doing Key to Time or, and this is really not a complaint, Doctor Who, Leela. Whoever is at Roku Station, they've got a Leela thing too. Because down with the Wang Chiang's Leela, earlier that day I saw Underground. I saw Image of the Fendal, just in passing, because it's on in the living room, or I'd hear it in here while I was working. Oh, yeah, and Hand of Fear. I was actually doing something in the living room when that came on. I watched the first 2 parts of that, and I'm reminded of how good an episode it is. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, like Doctor Who classic, if it's like what is this thing? Check out YouTube. I think it's Classic Doctor Who is the channel. They've got a bunch of old episodes. Check out the Hand of Fear. Or not the Hand of Fear, the Face of Evil. Hand of Fear is Sarah Jane. I'm still waking up. The Face of Evil. It's Leela's first episode, and it's really... So I wasn't like clinically watching it, but I kind of sort of was. And it's a really... I mean, it has 70s sets and whatnot. Forgive that. And if you're into it, then you're going to love it. Like Star Trek Plus level sets. It's just a really well put together episode. There's some mystery and intrigue, and it's well performed. And Louise Jameson's she just knocks it out of the park. Just a really neat, deep character, like 2 minutes into meeting her. Because she's sort of a non-believer-ish in a primitive tribe. She's that one that is a deeper thinker and doesn't necessarily... She believes the superstitious ways, but she's having doubts, and you can see it. She's open-minded, which makes her a really neat character study. She's a heretic. Yeah, maybe you could look at her that way. We are Yosemite Sam on a roller coaster. And we are drinking some vanilla cream brulee. Tiny. Bless. I got up, I smelled coffee, and I was like, okay, cool. I look over, and it's actually a coffee maker that I had picked up at Ollie's. It was on the clearance rack. I picked it up on a whim like 3 years ago, because it looked like it was okay. It's a nicer coffee maker. It was one of those ones where you look at it and you're like, I'm not sure that anything's wrong with you. I think you just got returned to be returned. Because that happens a lot. Tiny didn't know that. Just saw it in the box and was like, well, let's plug this in because the other one's getting gross. And again, bless. So the other one is curbed. And we have... And I was like, please tell me you filtered it. Ran water through it to clean out anything that might be. And the response was, I filtered 5 times. The first time I filtered it, I did vinegar. And I was just like, it warmed my heart, because I'm like, you have remembered what I have taught you. Vinegar is a great thing to do a basic rinse on a coffee maker with, just from a cleansing standpoint. It's very, very old school, non-chemical-y hack. But yeah, I was told I did 5, and the first one I did with vinegar, and I'm like, oh, well done, my child. So we have a functioning coffee maker again. Check that off the list. I mean, we got 3 or 4 in the garage. I have to move things to get to them. And I've been trying to deal with the other 58 priority ones on the list, you know. But this is something that Pix brought over from George. Because she was like, you know, you guys need a coffee maker. I saw this, and I'm like, ooh, I don't even know if that one works. She's like, it's what I found. I was digging around trying to get the car filled, and it was there. I said, ooh, a coffee maker. I'm like, no, you did great. You don't always know all the subplotty things going on. I'm like, I'm not even sure if it works. It's been sitting here in the kitchen. It's one of the boxes that's been on the floor for like a week or two. Every time I look at it, I'm like, do I want to go through the trouble of setting you up, knowing that you might actually not work? Or do I want to dig through the garage to the shelves to get one of the ones that I know works, but it's just dirty and nasty and needs to be wiped down, cleaned, and filtered 40 times because it's been sitting for 5 years? Oh, they're both ugly side quests. What's this over here that I need to do? You know, Tiny went ahead and was like, nope, we're doing this. Good job. It's the reason a few things get done around here every week is it's usually me that's like, enough of this. Why are we dealing with this broken crap that my dad had laying here? We have one that works. True story. So, yeah. Morning. Or if you speak Epic NPC, morning. Nice day to go fishing, isn't it? Those guys are funny. As far as small sketch comedy, my God, Viva La Dirt League or Epic NPC Man. If you haven't experienced them on YouTube, my God, my wife and I have been watching them for years. As a gamer, and just as a human, oh, you guys rock. That's the kind of stuff that I love doing too. So part of me is like, oh, that looks like fun. So what's on my list? Shower. As soon as I get on here, I'm going to go get wet. Then I'll do an OnlyFans entry. Cut veg, chicken noodle rice. I'm going to cut up some carrots, some red onion, some celery. Actually, no, I'm not going to do the red onion. I got a bundle of green onion at Aldi the other day. It's a better ad for the chicken soup. But I got 2 cans of chicken soup. Over there I got probably a pound and a half of diced chicken that I've been marinating in olive oil and a garlic herb. I'll fry that up first. This has already got lots of olive oil going on. Just do a light fry on that. Throw the veg that I cut on top of that once I'm satisfied with where the chicken is. Kind of almost stir fry that up a little bit. Then open the cans of soup, pour them on top, probably add additional water and let it boil down. Because the Progresso soups, they're bigger cans, but you're not supposed to add water. Which is another thing that it's like one of those cans of soup is not going to feed one adult and 2 piranha. I've got to, bulk it up, build it up. But I've got a home-style chicken noodle and a chicken noodle. So, Thinking either over potatoes or over rice. I'm probably going to do it over rice. And just make it like a, not really a casserole, but you know, like beef stroganoff. You know, it's the beef sauce, whatnot, over egg noodles. It's that kind of, you know, spaghetti. When you get it traditionally, it's a big pile of noodles with the sauce on top. You mix it yourself, kind of thing. We do that with, you know, soup mixes. It goes, you know, a lot longer, and you also get the starchy goodness, and yeah, it works. Just trust me, okay? Also on my list, scrubbing the deck. Arg. We found a brush. Hopefully it doesn't break, because 1 out of 5 tools over here break upon first use. True story. It's true. I have a brush over there too, though. I may have 2. But there's huge amounts of leaves and dirt and grime and whatnot collected over where the garden stuff was on the lanai, on the other side of the pool. And I think it'd be cool to actually, it's not gonna, you know, shimmer and gleam. But just getting the like dead leaves and the caked on dirt and stuff off the deck there would be pretty cool. Because I want pics to be able to look at what we've done and go, okay, this is starting to look less like a junk pile, more like a home. I think that'll help. It'll help all of our brains, frankly. Because, you know, Tiny yesterday was even like, because this whole place just drags you down. You look at everywhere you look, it's just piles of garbage and dirt. And it's just, I'm feeling it. I'm like, okay, let's do something positive, right? But we planted some of the potato eyes. My dad had the like long trough like pots, so we're going to try doing that. I'm going to review some of the videos that I've watched on potatoes, because I haven't watched those in a while. Riveting stuff, about as exciting as what I'm doing right now. Yeah. I acknowledge that. It's just, you know, if you need the company, if you like the company, and it's me doing a scientific experiment kind of daily life of, that way you can track the very, very moment where I do go insane or become terminally ill, you know. I'm joking and I'm not joking all at the same time. There will be some videos that will be more exciting than others. I try and throw comedy in there because I have a naturally bent sense of humor anyway. Ask anybody who knows me. I will be the first person to tell a joke at a funeral. You know, I'm that guy. It won't be incredibly disrespectful, mind you, but it'll help cut the mood a little bit. Yeah, I'm that guy. But start making patches look a little less like, from a hypothetical standpoint, like a man with dementia was trying to protect a property from burglars that didn't exist for 2 years and no one was watching him, so everything's kind of mayhem. A little less like that. Ooh, that was really on point, wasn't it? I gotta work on my hypotheticals. Or do I? Finished corner of the deck. Bikes out. There's like 5 bikes, because everywhere you look there's bikes. There's 5 bikes just kind of wedged in the corner over there. Get them out of there. There's a grill, a barbecue grill, that it's so buried we're not sure. It may be functional, and also it may be a few bits of metal held together by rust. To quote Bernadette Peters, possible. Very, very possible. And when you're doing a rinse on a coffee maker, don't do water, water, vinegar. Do vinegar, water, water, because you want to make sure you get the vinegar out of the coffee maker. You want to make sure you rinse the vinegar out of the coffee maker before you start making coffee. Or you may have coffee that has a kind of a salad bar flavor going on. Alex did that once. Did it out of order, and the next pot of coffee was... I didn't have any. Because I asked what Alex did, and I'm like, oh, okay, and I avoided it. I waited till Alex had some. And I was told that it had a soapy vinegar flavor. I'm like, really? You did dish soap and vinegar as the last before brewing? Yeah. I know what happened. So that pot got dumped and did a few more filters. Look, I not only gave you instructions, I even wrote it down for you. And I'm guessing you noticed the vinegar last minute and said, oh, I'm going to add it to the last step. Enjoy that coffee. Seal the orange table. Oh, yeah. Looking over my list, because I was working on these in between yesterday, trying to get the orange tabletops done. I keep blobbing on the paint in the little round holes where the pegs go, basically, because I'm hoping I can, like, fill it with excess paint to make it more flush. Because, I mean, that sort of worked, like on this one here, on these two. There's still a little bit of a divot, but it's not like a chasm. So I keep going over those areas, you know, just try and make it more flush before I put the epoxy coat on. Okay. eBay, because it's Saturday. I've got a couple things a couple of those pocket games that are being watched. 3 of them, I'm hoping they sell. We sold like 4 of those last weekend, and I relisted them as standard auctions, so I'm hoping that a few more of those sell. They're rare as hell. Little pocket, like BB marble games from the 70s, Tomy. T-O-M-Y. But I've got 8 up currently, and I think 3 or 4 are being watched. 2 of those are being watched by like more than 3 people, so I'm hopeful that at least a couple of those sell. We did have some pretty decent sales this week, so that will help things, you know. We're not out of the mess yet. But we're getting there. Okay. This will be the last one that I really need. Somebody listed a Scooby-Doo Baby Beast. The reason I'm so distracted is they sent me a like 25% offer, which I'm going to go ahead and capitalize on that. Yep, I'll take it. Not going crazy on eBay, but there are still things that I'm watching and still things that I will grab if the price is right. Because I don't want to pay more than $10 each for the Baby Beasts, which, just for clarity, because I am speaking in terminology that, oh, God in heaven, it's like I just got up. My back is angry. You guys need to go outside? Stampede! Okay, alright. Yeah, get your nose out of that. Oh dear God. Come on, Tam. So the baby beasts are, they did an Imaginext size Scooby-Doo figure collection. And they, with that they did Monster of the Week stuff. And they did these guys, which is the Beast of Bottomless Lake, I think. And they're just kind of that adorable scary. I don't know how else to put it. Okay, the transaction went through. Thank you. And it was one of those things that I liked the idea of having, from an army building standpoint, that's something that I could see having 5 or 6, or even, frankly, 10 of, in a diorama, because they're almost like gremlins, One gremlin is scary, if said gremlin has like a chainsaw or something. But okay, maybe the digital display that's weird on this. Maybe that's the part that's broken. Maybe that is actually malfunctioning. But if it's brewing coffee, I don't know that I'm incredibly worried about what the readout says. As long as it doesn't go all maximum overdrive. But yeah, one gremlin, not as scary as, 30. Which again, I have little mini Gremlins figures. Doing a store, making like a toy store diorama with stuff knocked over, broken, people running, and gremlins everywhere. That's to me a potential diorama. I can do the same thing with the baby beast. And if you don't know what they are, they just look like little crazy monsters. So yeah, having this one that I just purchased for just under $10, which that was kind of my limit. But like I said, I was watching it, it was going to be like 12. They sent me a like 25% off offer, and I'm like, I'm grabbing it now before somebody else does, because it probably went out to other people too. Having, a grocery store in disarray with like 6 of those things, on the tops of registers and in aisleways running down the corridor, like clean up on aisle 4, I'm down with that. So that's one of those ones that I was like, I want a few of these. I didn't realize they were going to be that cute. I need several of these. So I think this makes probably number 6 or number 7. Which I'll keep my eyes open and see if any more go for under $10. Like there's one right now that the guy wants 25. But it's a baby beast, it's a baby creeper, and a baby Dracula. The baby creeper I would probably keep. The baby Dracula, I don't need it. I have some classic Universal. The baby Dracula doesn't do anything for me. The baby creeper is kind of cool looking. But I don't want to pay 25. You know what I mean? I might go to 20 and then resell the Dracula. But 25 is it's just that right amount of too much for me. So I've been watching that for like, guys relisted it like 2 or 3 times. I've been watching it for like 4 months, hoping that I get either him sends me an offer or that he drops the price. Just watching. Because if he drops the price to 20, I'll grab it. Or sends me an offer for 20, I'll grab it. Either or. True story. Oh yeah, no, that's the good stuff. Yeah, it's the weekend. I can't do any of the financial stuff. It is still weird to me in the 24/7 world that we're in that there isn't more. We haven't seen like stock markets open for business on the weekends and all that. We're really sticking to that Monday through Friday. Which, I mean, if they go Saturday, Sunday, and something like that, the whole world will change. Then the weekend isn't the weekend anymore. But with AI and everything else, I'm really surprised that we're still... And I'm okay with it and also not okay with it sometimes because it gets inconvenient. But it's like we're really guarding those 2 days. Like, culturally, like, no, no, no. You can't have my Saturday morning cartoons. That's not even really a thing anymore. With streaming and network TV not being a big deal. Man, that was such an iconic thing for decades. Not so much anymore. Weird. People 100 years from now are going to be very confused about the whole... Why in these old films are children gathered around the television on Saturday mornings? What is it about Saturday mornings? Is it just that they're not in school? It's because Bugs Bunny's on TV. Okay? Captain Caveman and Hong Kong Phooey. So back off. Also, Fonzie and Mr. Cool. Do not. And don't touch my shmoo. Don't do it. Do not. Do not touch my shmoo. If you know, you know. If you don't, Google it. Anyway, I'm going to get going on my list. I think I'm going to have a yogurt. It sounded pretty good right now. Picked up some toasted coconut and vanilla yogurt. A little 4-packs at Aldi. Haven't tried it yet. According to Pix, they don't get it in that often, so I grabbed a 4-pack and split it with her. So I got 2 in the fridge. Either gonna love it or hate it. Don't know. I think I'm gonna love it. Optimistic. But I got a list. I'm gonna take a shower. Of course, OnlyFans after that. You can find the link somewhere on this page. There is no OnlyFans. Yeah. Work my list. Do my 1 brick. Definitely did 1 yesterday, maybe 2. So, hug your parents. Hug your kids. Squeeze them real tight. Just don't get crazy with it. Exactly. Make it a great day.